Well, we are live. I see the comments have already started the little fights. Um, JFM out for a duck. Yes, let's talk about that. 175 was the estimated score for JFM by Abhishek himself, but 175 turned out to be Vipraj Nigam's strike rate right before everything went downhill for MI. Um, So, I mean, we leave it to the audience. Do you guys want to start with the RCB win or the MI win? I'm going to assume that everybody wants to look at, the MI win first because Abhishek is in the comments. Sumuk is not here with us. We will be doing this alone. Hopefully, Vicky joins later, but let's get started, I guess. So, MI, they start off bowling abysmally, right? You have, I think, sorry, they start off. Let's talk about their batting first. Ryan Rickleton, um, 41 runs from 25 balls. Rohit Sharma, one more failure. Who gets in the comments? Okay. Tilak Verma lands a good score once again of 59 of 35, good strike rate of 178. Surya pulls up again, and then they have a little bit of a minor collapse. And Namandir adds the finishing touches, and they get to 275. Now, yesterday we had added that a 200 plus score is a pretty good score for whichever team bats first at the Firoz Shah Kotla. Now, in Delhi, we know that their overall record is not the greatest. Um, and yeah, it just went down once again today. It was a case of, am I really pulling the heist? I didn't think it was possible with the way that Delhi were going at a certain stage with Karun Nair. But the bowling from Delhi's side was largely carried by the spinners, Vikraj Nigam and Kuldeep Yadav. Good job from their side. Vikraj Nigam a little expensive, Kuldeep clinical as always. Akhtar once again not giving himself his 4 over quota. Finishes 2 for 19. Finishes 0 for 19 in his 2 overs. Mohit Sharma expensive again. Mukesh Kumar did a decent job. Went through a bit of a scare in terms of the collision, and yeah, the second innings gets kicked off, and you have a proper Jake Fraser McGurk duck, and that is where Abhishek comes in. He wants 14 and 14. 14 and 14, not exactly happening now, but I think Delhi are still on for a good qualification chance. It's unfortunate that they choked this pretty hard in the second half of that innings, but solid stuff. This is cheating, man, he says as an Australian fan. I love the banter. I love the banter in the comments. Uh, but I cannot pin these many comments. There is so much going on in here today. Qualification is done already. Yeah, qualification is okay. Let's talk about this, right? DC batting. I honestly think that their batting has the playing 11 they played today. That batting order is probably one of the best they could possibly play. Now, Karun Nair is someone that we said has to play even during the post auction stream, and we thought he'd be playing at four, but as an opener, he's done a brilliant job today. Now, if Faf comes back, Faf has to get that opening slot, which means Delhi Capitals will have to drop Abhishek's favorite Jake Fraser McGurk in order to play Karun Nair. Thoughts about that, my little man? Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about this as well. Right? The middle order is not as weak as it sounds. Look, okay, this as well. You can drop JFM. JFM was a one season wonder, as I mentioned in the previous, stream as well, and the stream before that, and probably the stream before that. but his inconsistency is the issue. That's something that they were trying to deal with. The reason JFM was being played in the side is because you have a Faf du Plessis who can stabilize the innings from the other side. It is now possible to play both Karun Nair and Faf du Plessis as your openers. And Karun Nair is still giving you probably the same kind of dimension that JFM gives you with a little bit more consistency. He played with a strike rate of 200 today. He was the Sam Conscious to Jasprit Bumrah in whatever we saw of that innings today. Good power play. They finished with 80 for 1 at the end of the power play. Abhishek Purel as well contributing in his own ways. A strike rate of 132, not exactly that threatening. But if they do play Karun at 3 and Porel opening with Faf, or alternatively Karun opening with Faf and Porel at 3, it really does seem like a much more potent batting lineup than what JFM can, you know, cook for them. So that's the JFMT right there. And let's talk about Karun Nair's innings as a whole. A strike rate of 222 in he plays 89 of 40 balls, 12 fours, 5 sixes, and beautiful ball striking. There was due. Yeah, that is something I did not see coming. It was something that we saw last season as well in a couple of games. We didn't think that there'd be due, but that's happened. Um, the rematch. All right, this is something that must be discussed again. Uh, Yogi says that the rematch might go MI's way again. He says he's sure about it. Uh, I don't think so. I still think Delhi is a solid side. Does Delhi play Mumbai again? Is the bigger question. Let me just pull up the schedule for a second. Yes, okay. Delhi play their last game against MI in Mumbai. Now, I don't know if qualification is something that is a case for Mumbai. Okay, let's add Biggie to stage. Yes, hold on. Biggie is here.
There,
MI fan. MI fan. We got MI
Namaskar
fan.
to Abhishek Namaskar. And also, a special from Dash. Please read between the lines, Abhishek. Read between the lines.
All right, so we
Guys,
have
one second.
Biggie in the house.
Before
Biggie,
we begin, I'm sorry to interrupt. If you're
yes.
wondering why my hair is a little messy and a little wet, it's because just like Delhi, I had to run out from the shower. Except they run themselves out of the game.
Uh, oh Lord. No, I'd say Biggie's hair is messed up because he was probably sitting there pulling on it during this whole problem. Shivam is here as well. I think we've got the whole squad here now. We can finally talk
Okay,
both
good.
and RCB. And
Hello.
please, first of all, thoughts about the MI win. Did you see it coming?
I
No,
did.
not at
You
all.
can ask Abhishek. Abhishek, please drop in the comments. I told him today. He's like, "Oh, you think you're gonna beat us? 14 in
I
14,
remember
bro."
there was something Abhishek was texting about JFM that he's going to score something, and I said that, and someone mentioned that he wouldn't like Hardik would take him, and I said that he wouldn't stay till Hardik comes on the screen, comes in, comes to bowl, and I think Sachit mentioned that probably like Hardik bowls in the power play, and I said including that as well, he wouldn't stay till then, and he got out the first ball. It was really crazy.
Oh,
Uh,
man, I saw
yeah,
that.
we did not see that coming. We did not see that coming.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, look, Sumuk takes rest for one day, and we need two people replacing him. Honestly, that is the kind of impact that is required here. It's like RCB trying to replace Dinesh Karthik with Jitesh Sharma, Liam Livingston, and Tim David. You need a proper battalion to hold that together.
I know. He is.
But
Sumakana is.
Yeah,
We
I
were.
think
We are
So,
not in that.
we will expose Viggy a little bit over here. Viggy barely watched the game. He found out that MI won, and there he was on stream. I kind of asked him a little last minute to join the call because I didn't know who the hell to bring on the call today.
Yeah,
But
Abhishek is like, oh, he came on call when Mumbai won. See, understand Sumuk is not available today. Second off, it's a Mumbai game. Third off, I wasn't watching because I went for basketball. You know, this guy, right? He's like, come out of cave, come out of cave. I'm like, bro, I was outside, not inside a cave.
this shit is crazy, dude. Another thing that should be discussed today is the Karan Sharma factor. Did we see that coming, lads?
No.
not at all. Not at all.
I came back, I checked the scorecard. I'm like, what? Karan Sharma.
So Karan Sharma picks up three key wickets. He picks up Porel, he picks up KLR, and he also picks up Stubbs. Exposes the middle order with I think 40 something to get up the last 4 overs,
Yeah,
and
it was around
we
43 in last 4 overs. Yes.
yeah of 40 something of 24
Hmm.
balls, and Akhtar Patel being promoted ahead of Stubbs and Ashutosh will now properly be questioned by the entirety of the franchise.
No,
But it
but
is something that they have been doing for a while. Like they
yeah,
have given Akshar that role. They have carried that particular Champions Trophy position. They have carried that into this, and I think that would continue considering Akshar is the leader also. So I think that is going to stay. Four KLR, fifth, five Akshar, and then probably
Yeah.
Stubbs to follow, and then Ashutosh to come up down the order. I think
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
given the situation that they were in, I really believe that Stubbs should have been pushed up ahead of Akshar. I don't know if it was the left-right combination, promoting this whole Akshar Patel factor. He is a good player. He's a wonderful hand with the bat, but it's another case of should Jadeja be pushed up ahead of Tala? Should Sam Curran be pushed up ahead of Tala? It's the same concept once again. They could perform, but does that take away from what comes next?
But we shouldn't forget a very important aspect, which was Akshar stepping down to Bumrah, like going down the ground to Bumrah. It was a thing because most people don't expect Akshar to do that against Bumrah, right?
Yeah.
Taking him on. So I think that actually, Abhishek, I dare you to tell me yes or no today. Yeah, crazy, crazy. But Shruti, I feel it's sad for you as well. You still stay at the bottom. I mean,
Look, that was handled by Abhishek Sharma yesterday. We discussed that yesterday. I don't think we bring it
different
up
Abhishek.
in tomorrow's game. We will
yeah,
discuss that
perfect,
before we
perfect.
discuss. Don't worry. But yeah, Karan Sharma pulls up in style. He did for MI what he's probably never done for RCB. It's another case of an RCB player leaving the team and performing better for another
You
team.
mean
As long as he's
win
going to
a
do it
cup
again.
with us? Win the cup with every other team except you guys?
Look, look, as long as they perform everywhere else, I don't mind.
Hmm.
Don't
I
perform
mean,
against us.
See, it was not about us today. Please, let's move on from that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they were at a stage where Vikraj and Ashutosh were put into a very similar position as that heist they pulled off earlier. The only difference is that the pitch is not as flat in this case, so there is assistance for spin, which is what results in Hardik Pandya handing the ball to Mitch Santner,
Hmm.
and everybody stops and thinks, okay, is that the game right there? Because Bolt bowls the previous over from, I think, a stage of 164 for six. They have 4 overs left. Trent Bolt lands six Yorkers in a row.
Yes,
I
there were like I think
bowler
it
Bolt in a
was
long time.
like 4 runs came of that over, 4 or 5,
three runs.
including that
Three
wide.
runs.
3 runs, including
It
that wide. I think.
was
Yeah,
three.
brilliant over, brilliant over.
Absolutely brilliant. So that
That
takes them 39 of 18. And
Yes.
Hardik Pandya hands the ball to Mitch
to
Santner, and
Pit
all of us
Santner.
think, did they have to do that? Could it not have been Bumrah for the 18th, Bolt for the
18th
19th?
and then gold for the 19th. Yes.
See,
Hmm.
And
see,
somehow,
like
yeah,
I
somehow
the
it
thing is that
happened.
I the way I saw it, like Hardik had an over to bowl as well, if he had to bowl.
Yeah,
But like I think he just wanted to push his luck with how much assistance you were getting off the pitch to
yeah,
see that like if I take one more wicket, because it is harder for the pacer to get that wicket, because if they feed off the right pace ball, it's gone for a shot. Same for spin. But that assistance that he was getting off that pitch, because look at that Vibraj wicket, that's stumping. The
yeah.
turn that Sapner got, that is the only reason why, like, he might have bowled. He'll say now, it was justified. I saw the spin and the other. If Sapner got hit for one more boundary, that game was over.
True, I agree with that 100%. But yeah, there was a little bit of assistance from the pitch, but we've seen how Ashutosh Sharma is against spin. So you really needed a case where you get him off strike. Vipraj Nigam got six of the first ball, four of the next ball, and somehow you think, okay, putting Ashutosh Sharma off strike is not going to help. And then suddenly, for the fifth ball of the game, he steps out. Santner reads it, throws it wide. Rickleton manages to keep his cool and collect the ball behind the stumps, which is very important.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Hmm.
jobs there. Ashutosh has all the pressure on him. Stark can't really give him the kind of support that he needs.
Yeah, we wouldn't expect Stark to do that. I mean, he tried going for the big shot in the first delivery, but of course.
I was worried about Stark. This guy has a habit of showing up and hitting a six out of nowhere. I'm just
So
saying.
the thing about Stark is the last time I saw him perform with the bat in the IPL was in 2014 when Stark and AB pulled off a masterful run chase against SRH.
Oh God.
Yeah, he pulled up with the bat just enough to help AB finish the job. But yeah, Bumrah bowls the 19th over. We think, yeah, but it's Bumrah. He's going to bowl six Yorkers in a row. He's going to seed it here. And
But
somehow,
somehow something like like with against the run of the play, like we weren't expecting. Like of course we were expecting a Bumrah might give it like there would be a very astonishing delivery, like a Yorker, probably getting a wicket on a slower, a bouncer maybe. Like we were expecting that a run out, three run outs. Like
yeah,
come on, that
that
is
that felt like a very South Africa thing to do. Those
yes,
who know what I'm referring to will agree.
exactly.
In a row.
But
This
I've
is
seen this thing. Ashutosh does have problems with running between the wickets. This
He
is
does,
exactly the
and
yeah,
there was a case where he got run out previously as well,
yeah.
and lost the chase for them. But Ashutosh is probably one out of three to four players that I've seen in the history of the IPL who have managed to play Bumrah like it's nothing,
That is true.
but
That is true.
see, I,
especially at
I
the
I'll
death.
agree that shots he played were good, but like if you look at the shots he played, one ball was a Bumrah error. That full toss
Yes.
shouldn't have gone. But that was a good conversion by Ashutosh. I'll give him the credit for that.
Yeah,
But if that ball was lower, Ashutosh was screwed. Like I think Bumrah just the ball must have slipped a bit when he was trying to bowl that Yorker. That's the
it
only
was.
reason it went really full. But the other ball, like that was unlucky for Bumrah. Because that was a clear nick
That was a
that just
brilliant
went
Yorker.
back to travel. And that's when they put that third man as well. Like pick a finer person there to like stop that ball from going there. And it was a good decision, I think. But then he still managed to what? Uh, I think that was a good decision because that would have one more ball went there.
It was a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah. But
That
that's what
was
happens with Bumrah, right? Even if he makes a little bit of an error, like probably like a full toss of the thighs around the legs, the pace with which he brings the ball into the batter, it actually
Yeah.
helps him. The batter is not able to get under the ball to mark it over probably long on. So this is the only place where a person can go for. It's probably fine leg or like probably third man. That's what a person tries to do against Bumrah. So I
Yeah, so
think
Ashutosh playing the ball behind square is something. that we've seen him do against Bumrah in the past as well. A
Yes,
little sort of a
exactly.
finding that we witnessed last year. So
It's a
Ashutosh
quick
versus
decision,
Bumrah is
quick
a battle
movement.
to watch for in the
Hmm.
future as well. Yeah, go on, Maggie.
I think bolts over chains things, but I'm just saying, like we discussed this already, but
Yeah,
like any more than 3 runs in that over, I
Hmm.
true.
think. See, I don't know. I think maybe that bolt over gave Hardik the confidence to bowl Santner. If that went for a few more runs, I don't think Santner was bowling because it's too risky. Unless the equation read 13 runs and over, you're not going to throw the ball to a spinner. If it said 30, maybe 9 runs short also, I don't think Santner was getting the ball.
True.
Hmm.
Would have been
Exactly.
Hardik if it was a closer gap between runs required and balls remaining. But
And oh god, somehow Mumbai pulled it out of the ass. Uh,
I
but
given where they are on the table, given how they've been performing so far, it's always been close games, but for some reason they've managed to bottle them. This time they've been on the other side of the victory, and it might just be that spark that is required for MI to do what they always do. That little lose a few in a row, chill at the bottom of the
Hmm.
table, come back to the top, and somehow make it
the
to the
classic
playoff.
Mumbai story. We all know this. We've seen this before.
We've seen this in 2015.
Correct.
We've seen
Yes.
this plenty of times.
Time and time again, it's happened.
See, they are lethal for a reason because, like, look at the batting order. It's not like a Sunrisers batting order, also, where like it's a hit or miss. Someone will always manage to pull through for Mumbai because this batting.
True,
See, the
but
best thing I like
I
about
would
this is
also
Deepak Chahar is coming in at the end.
yeah.
You remember that innings where Deepak Chahar, like, this was the India match, right, where he made that 50, saving our asses that
Yeah,
time.
against Sri
Sri Lanka,
Lanka.
right? Sri
Against
Lanka.
Sri Lanka, exactly. And that was good shots. Deepak Char, when the other day when we came out and we required the runs, I saw him hit a shot. It was so close and he got caught on the boundary.
Hmm.
He can do that. I'm just saying that Mumbai does nothing to worry about in the batting department. Bowling also now, since Bumrah's back, once he hits his stride, it's over for everyone else.
True. It was something that was actually weird to see. The fact that Bumrah got bashed for 14 economy in the power
Yeah.
play, but that credit has to go to Karun Nair and Abhishek Paul.
Yeah,
Completely all right.
right. The
Any final words, Abhishek, in the comments before we move on to the RCB
Vignesh
versus
thinks he
Ball
won the
game?
cup, dog. BBC Cricket. Pin my
Oh
comment.
God, Ambati
See,
Raidu is commenting this.
where's Sampati Raidu coming from, bro? See, we didn't win the cup, but I told you something like a day before. I told you something a day before. Mumbai will win this and kick your ass. Happened.
No, look, in all honesty, it was always Delhi's game. It was just
Yeah.
a typical KL Rahul bottle from a certain point, and from there it was just a
See,
collapse.
he's due a bottle once in a while. Besides which, see, what I'll say is
What?
that I expected Mumbai to still win. Bisleri. Is that Bisleri actual Bisleri?
Yes,
Okay. Nice.
these are our sponsors for today's video, guys. Advertising Bisleri. Ruturaj Gaikwad is injured. Moving
This,
on.
yeah, okay. I'll wrap up my side about Mumbai. See, the reason why I said Mumbai had many close games, you saw that. It wasn't like they were far off from winning. It was, it's so weird because I'm looking at the live stream here. Now you're showing me the Bisleri bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mumbai had close matches all the time. It's the fact that moving forward, this will give them a lot of confidence. Like you said, that spark they needed. And I think once Rohit starts clicking, and now I'll get shit from Abhishek in
Rohit
the
is not
comments.
going to click. Let's
Rohit
move
is
past.
never going to
Has been
click.
a
Yeah.
liability for half a decade now,
Exactly.
minimum.
Minimum.
He has not clicked in the IPL in a very long time, but
Yes.
I'm hoping he does eventually click. Because if
No,
he also
he will
clicks,
give you two good games per season, and somehow one of those good games will happen in one of the knockouts.
yeah, that's that. And
That
the other
has
one is
been.
usually against Chennai.
So I'm not putting Rohit Sharma. I'm not putting that past Rohit, but overall speaking, I will still believe that Rohit Sharma is a liability to this team because They after Rohit, they sent Sky, they sent Tilak, they sent Hardik, they sent Namantir, and Will Jacks never managed to bat. So they used Will Jacks as Shahbaz Ahmed today. It's
Vijay
a
should be in an opening role, actually.
he should, and Rohit
Hey,
should.
do you
Yeah.
think Tilak should also come higher?
Sorry, what?
Tilak coming higher because he plays
I
number
will
three for the Indian
always
team.
look at three and Sky at four, irrespective of what the team combination is. It is like personally speaking, Tilak at three is just absolutely perfect for me. I do not want Sky at three. Sky is better off facing the middle overs between 8 to 14, and then he can finish the innings
Yeah,
decently
because
good.
Sky can. I think Tilak is fit perfectly for that number three role in T20 cricket. I
Absolutely,
was really
absolutely.
disappointed keep seeing him sent below, and even Jax. But Jax, okay, TK, if he can come as a pinch hitter down the line, fine. But like, I would prefer if Jax opened with Riddleton,
Yeah.
and then comes Tilak, then comes Surya. I don't know if Rohit can try a middle order pinch hitting role for Mumbai. Maybe it's something he should be open to. I don't know.
Probably, but it's either that. Look, either you open with Jacks or you don't play Jacks at all because of his impact being a very power play oriented impact. So instead of Rohit giving you his typical 12 of 6 balls or 18 of 12 balls, you would rather have Will Jacks giving you maybe a 30 or 40 of 20 odd balls.
Yeah.
That is true.
I
Personally,
see. I just think that he has nothing to lose, and I expect. See, Abhishek is keep you'll see in the comments. He keeps asking about Rohit to try. But there we go. There we go.
yeah.
There we go. But I will leave that conversation for another day. But
This is a good time to have that conversation because of Rohit's constant failures. Let us discuss it. Let us address the elephant in the room, the elephant in the room, in the dressing room, in fact.
see, I would back him to bat because he still has that hitting ability in him, especially to set the tone at the start.
So does Thala. So let's take it from there then. Just because, look, okay, so Kumar Sangakkara also has the hitting ability left in him, as we saw in the Legends League. He's able to clear the boundary a good distance. Kevin Peterson has a good distance that he's able to put across when he bats. There is a certain stage where retirement becomes inevitable because you have so much other newer options coming in, and I just feel like KL Srijit is being wasted as a player warming that bench right now.
Mm. One
Yep.
second.
One
Hold up.
more thing which I would want to add related to that also, I understand what he wants to do. Yeah, probably he says that I want to play the 2027 World Cup, like whatever is there in his mind. But
Sure.
I think more of a like a skill set problem. He does has have that fitness problem because we all would have seen in the 50 over format that as and when he is above that like 10 over mark, he's just not able to pull through. He's
True.
only good for the power. He's like he has become kind of like a Devdutt Padikkal or a Dot Dutt
It's
testicle.
it's it's
Uh,
hard to compare him to Devdutt Padikkal now.
now,
I'd say he's Devdutt Padikkal of the old
oh
era.
yes, yes,
You
the
know,
old era, exactly that. So even with like Mumbai, I think they are also facing that same problem that like the impact role which he has given, of course, that similar thing can also be done by someone else and in a better way. So I think Mumbai should look past Rohit now, but and yeah, retirement is inevitable now.
look, it is another case of CSK with Salah, right? You
Yeah,
cannot make him retire. He needs to do
yeah,
it himself. And as long as he decides to play the game, you respect that and you continue doing that job.
Yeah. See the
Luckily for MI, it is not as bad as CSK's case where
yeah.
he's pushed down lower and lower down the order and then he comes out when the game is
Hmm.
gone. He is still, from the T20 perspective, instead of an 18 of 8 as we saw today, if he's able to put together maybe a 28 of 12, I will take that from Rohit any day, given the kind of batting order that comes up later. So if he
Hmm.
Yeah.
pulls up with more than 25 runs in his innings with a strike rate of over 160, 170, I will take it, given where he is in his career right now.
No, see, the thing that I was also like hearing recently, like that Ambati Raidu call with him, no? What is this thing called?
Yeah,
This is fair. This is fair.
Yeah.
understandable, totally.
He does have his
Okay, yeah,
own level.
no.
As I
Yeah,
said,
what I was
JF
saying is the
issue that he
impact
has.
Rohit would have is someone he should be on the field, but his fitness doesn't let him. He
Yeah,
should actually be on the field, helping Harding, like set
yeah.
out and think those things through. That is the value he adds.
The opposite side to that is what we saw last year when there is Hardik, Sky, and Rohit along with
Yeah,
Bumrah trying to put
all of
thoughts
those
in
things.
Bumrah's head while Bumrah knows what he needs from his speed. So you don't need too
Too
many,
many cooks spoil the broth there.
cooks
Hmm.
on the broth. Exactly.
Hmm.
Telepathy will
And
say.
irrespective of whatever insight he brings in onto the field, is he able to dive? Can he field in the outfield? Can you put him where you want to put him? Because you are not going to get the same kind of fielding out of Deepak Chahar. You will not get the same kind of fielding out of Karan Sharma. And you will not get any good fielding. I mean, you wouldn't want Bumrah to be anywhere in the outfield because injury prone. He's just come back from
Hmm.
a horror of an injury, which leaves very few options because the captain also has to stay in the infield. So can you put Rohit in the outfield? I don't think so, personally speaking. It's been a while since I've seen Rohit in the outfield as well. It's
Yeah,
been way
actually,
too.
no, only last year. Remember last year he
Last
kept
year
being put
only
in the
he was
outfield.
Rohit gave
the
that surprise
Rohit
reaction.
Rohit, मैं आउटफील्ड में जाएगा, दो बच्चे का बाप है, मैं
गाड़ी
आउटफील्ड में
में
जाएगा.
घूमेगा बहन. See, anyway, I believe. See, this is being biased. Obviously, Abhishek will agree. I believe
Yes.
Rohit has some spark left in him, but maximum one more season of IPL, I would back him to retire by 27.
Yeah,
I
look,
don't.
I think it's going to be a case of Rohit pushing himself till the 2027 World Cup if
Mm,
the selectors don't push him out of the team before that. Uh, get that World Cup done, see how it goes, maybe hopefully pull out a win over there, and
Hmm.
uh, and then put out an Instagram post saying, I have chosen to retire from all formats of cricket. All formats. Not I will
mm.
continue playing the IPL until I am 47.
Yeah,
I think yeah, his fitness is something he should work on. If he could have actually guaranteed better fitness, he could have been a
Look,
better player.
I have said this before on stream as well. Rohit Sharma would have been a much, much, much better batter than Virat Kohli himself if he worked on his fitness because the natural
definitely,
talent is way higher. That
exactly.
has been something else in throughout his career, and his fitness is the only thing that has stopped him from pulling through and probably surpassing so much more of what Tendulkar could have done. We saw the best of Rohit when he was still fit. Post COVID, he came up with a pregnancy issue, and since then there has been a bit of a downfall in his career. He has had great knocks, so not putting that past him, but fitness has been the only thing that's derailed his career since 2019.
Abhishek has been offended by your comments there.
Look, I still stand by this statement, right? His hand-eye coordination, his overall technique has been better since, and we've seen him be an absolute clutch player for India in 2013 and 2019. And there was so much potential for Rohit at a certain point of his career. But as I said, it doesn't exist anymore. He is not better than Virat Kohli. I just said he had the potential to
Hmm.
be better than Virat.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with it. That potential thing, because one thing which like I would like to bring in the comparison is that Virat is someone who is like, okay, I need this thing to work. Like, okay, this particular issue is there. I'm going to work on it. Probably fitness wise, probably I'll bring in a 8 feet baller to tackle Mohammad Irfan. Like, I'll do that. He's been doing that ever since, and that has been a part of his upgrade, and we've seen it continuously till, and we see that even today. But with Rohit, yes, that has happened, because when he came into the, like, the cricket fraternity, probably in 2009, 8, 10, he had those little bit knocks where he actually get to prove himself. But it was only after 2013 when he actually escalated his charm in the cricketing world. And after 2018 in tests also, he did quite well in like home season, and as well as that one England tour in 2021. So he
Mm.
had that, but of course, like, that downfall has happened, and that is because of the fitness only.
Yeah. And look, okay, to answer Abhishek's question, it would have been very likely for Vicky to have paid me, given that the jersey that he's wearing. But he paid me nothing. I still his double hundreds are against Sri Lanka, and
Australia. Australia.
you can't possibly forget the Australia double hundred, could you?
209. Come on, it was.
209 in Chinnaswamy, Tala, and that was like, okay, look, I'm the Rohit Sharma discussion can go on forever.
Yeah,
Look,
Let's not
Abhishek,
forget the 2019.
he is not better than Kohli. He is
he's not,
not.
definitely.
He's not the greatest batter to have ever played the game. Uh, but I'm just saying that there was potential. If you saw Rohit Sharma in that phase, in his 2014 phase, he had a bit of a downfall in between during 2016-17, came back again in
In that
2019 with the
2019
Bangalore World Cup.
Bangalore World Cup season. Yeah,
You have to consider that kind of hitting, the kind of long innings that he used to play. There was a lot of potential there. But we have discussed the MI versus BC game for a solid 35 minutes. I
yeah,
think we just quickly touch up on the RCB game because there is a certain jersey that I'm wearing that I must put on
That's
with
all.
pride. Away games continue to shine. We have
four of us. Yes.
that finally win a toss, which turned out to be pretty important at the end of the day. We
Yeah.
didn't think that would make that much of a difference, but the fact that there was so much pressure on the team batting first with the slow surface
Hey,
is
we've got a
something.
fourth one coming.
All right. Oh, hold on. Samuk is joining the live.
Let's go.
This is a party today, bro. Party.
I'm trying to change the layout. Let's put this guy on. Right. Okay. Let's continue the discussion until he shows up. You have a pretty slow innings from Yashasvi Jaiswal in the first half. He did accelerate later on, but I seriously doubt that the impact was the same because then yeah. So Sanju Samson, 15 of 19, absolute bottle job.
Yes.
Jaiswal, 75 of 47, looks good until you realize that it was just an acceleration that happened towards the latter half of his innings. And yeah,
Yeah,
solid
definitely.
1-3 with Jurel helping the team score, pull up that far.
I mean, Jurel wouldn't have been there in the first place if that catch was taken. But
True. Three catches dropped
yeah,
from RCB.
so but all in all, a good day out there. I mean,
Yep.
Yeah, but
somehow I
then
like, on one way I can also say that Trunal also stepped up with his bowling. There was but of course that surface also actually helped him. Uh,
Yeah.
I think Trunal still has to, do a better job than what he's been doing till now.
Bro, you're asking rematch for one game. I've been asking rematches for lots of games since 2011.
Yeah, we've been asking for a rematch for RCB versus MI 2019 ever since Malinga put his
Yes,
foot beyond that
yes,
Yeah,
line.
landed his foot.
yes.
don't forget they also Chennai also wanted a rematch because of that Dhoni run out. No, you remember? Like very close run out in the
The
final.
2019, yeah,
Chennai even wanted a rematch for the 2019 IPL final
IPL final. Yeah.
yeah, with the Shardul
because
Thakur.
Watson was injured. They
Wait,
wanted to
didn't they
play
want a
full
rematch
with
for 20?
Watson.
Oh wait, they weren't there for 2017 and 18.
They wanted a rematch in court. All right. At the end of the power play, RR were 45 for no loss. And in any modern T20 cricketing scenario, when you are batting first, 45 for no loss at the end of the day means that you've not done enough. 13 of 16 from Samson, 30 of 20 from Jaiswal. Still a decent job from Jaiswal, I would say, but was nowhere close to enough from the batters because 45 for no loss is not going to get you past 200.
I think Samson definitely slowed down that Rajasthan innings today. He wasn't. This is the same Samson that they say take 10 balls and Samson's set. But today he was nowhere close to that. He honestly damaged their chances today.
Maybe it's
Uh,
because they are playing the first game in Jaipur
Jaipur.
and
Jaipur,
it's
yes.
a day game and it's
They
going to slow down
themselves did
there.
not know how the pitch would play out, which is why both captains wanted to bowl. I would still say there wasn't too much of an issue for the team batting second because somewhere it just felt like the ball wasn't doing the same amount as what our bowlers managed to pull. But I would credit the bowlers for that and not, not the
The
pitch.
surface, yeah.
I feel Rajasthan batted well, except that they didn't take any risk.
Yeah.
173 for 4 is different from 173 for 8.
Eight.
That looks
Yeah.
like a proper team effort, as a wise Anil Kumble would say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Uh, and also, let's not forget the wrong entry points here. Again, once again, the wrong entry points. Nitish
Yep.
Rana is your dedicated number 3 batter. He
True.
comes in for the last ball, finishes with a
Oh,
400 straight rate. Rian Parag is your dedicated number 4 batter. He's locked in from the previous innings.
correct.
Moved again. Shimran Hetman should be coming in at 5. He comes in at 4. So
No,
one
he
small
comes at
change.
five. Durrell came in ahead of him.
Oh yeah,
Jurel was at number 4, yeah.
Jurel
Yeah.
was ahead of Hetman. So one small change screwed up the whole playing order of the team.
True. Which also resulted in Hetmeyer not being able to put together an actual innings because 112 strike rate, 9 runs, 8 balls, we take that any day. Hopefully, we pull this off against Puran as well.
Nah. Hopefully, we have a very like a wrong entry point from Puran side in that match, and we see that happening.
No, that
Are
ain't
we
happening.
playing a game against LSG in Lucknow?
No, no, no. It's a night game.
No.
Our
I
only
think
two day games are against Rajasthan and Punjab.
No, Punjab is a day game.
Punjab is
Yes,
a day
Punjab
game.
is a day game. The Sunday one, the Friday
Yeah.
one is the home
The one
game
that
is
we
a
play
night
in
game.
Milapur is a day game,
Interesting.
right?
Then why did we play the Go Green game against Rajasthan and not Punjab?
Sunday is a
Because
away game, yeah. Mullins
Because
we
were
that is
played
also an
at
away
play.
game. That is also
Rajasthan
an
in
away
the
Isn't
game.
past.
it? Isn't it always the last day game of the season?
Not necessarily. Look, I'm just saying we've played a green game against Rajasthan before and we've pulled a win, and all our other green game wins have come against orange jersey teams, which means no risk this time. Just play it against Rajasthan, get the W,
Yeah,
and move on.
yeah,
Hmm.
But yeah, it was a good bowling display as well. I'd say Hazelwood slightly expensive. I mean, he still finished with a good economy of 8.7, but he had a little bit of a phase where he was hit around for a few runs. I will not criticize Suyash Sharma today for sure. Two important catches dropped off of him, or else his figures would have looked much better. 4 for 39. He had a catch dropped at point and a dolly dropped by Virat Kohli himself.
yeah,
Fielding
Not,
was really bad today.
yeah.
yeah,
RCB was worst. RR was worse than worst.
yeah. We dropped 3, RR dropped 5. So that's on them.
That's on them. They dropped Virat in the initial stages. Like we could have seen another
They
Sandeep
dropped Salt
Sharma.
twice.
Yeah, again, yeah, we could have seen another Sandeep Sharma getting Virat. It would have been 8 on his
Twice.
column. But
Twice.
yeah,
Sandeep almost had Virat twice.
yeah,
One was the catch that was dropped at long off, and another one was this catch that went over towards covers, if I'm not wrong, deep covers.
Wasn't it Salt
on the bench.
that went over the
No,
course?
it was Kohli chipping one
Oh,
straight up in the air, trying to clear mid off, and it was dropped by
Riyan Parag.
Rian
That
Parag.
was
Yeah,
Riyan Parag. Yeah.
yeah, correct. Yeah,
But yes,
so
Salt had a
in the
brilliant day out.
on the live. Look, it feels so refreshing to see Phil Salt play like this because this is
Yeah.
what we wanted from him. This is the role that he's been handed, and this is what he can. This is what he's been doing time and time again, and he did it for KKR last year. We bought him in the
Mm,
auction to do the job this year, and we picked him ahead of Faf du Plessis. We picked him ahead of Butler. We picked him ahead of KL Rahul, and I
mm,
feel like he's shown us
mm.
proper dividends. And he let Kohli play his natural game, right? Kohli got to his 50 of some 40 odd balls,
39 deliveries.
49, yeah.
Yeah.
So 62 of 45, that acceleration came at the end where the game was
Mm.
sealed. And the most refreshing factor from today is the innings that Devdutt Padikkal played. It was not a come in, go bang bang kind of a thing. It was a proper
Yeah.
structured innings where he makes sure he finishes the innings.
Mm.
It's not something that he's been handed this year, not a role that he's been
Mm.
given. His ideal scenario would have been to come in, score 25 of 12, and then get out. But 40 of 28, solid stuff. He's been owning RR ever since he made his debut for RCB. Uh, the trend continues.
Trend continues, definitely. I think it was more of a like understanding the surface and then playing according to it. Because
True.
from the outside perspective, we would see and say that, oh, it's just another, dot that particle innings like we are seeing. He's not, but of course, like they understood quite well and delivered in the end. And
Yeah.
also, of course, and about Phil Salt, like he played with better brains than he was playing before. Like in the initial over when he was taking on Archer, he
Yeah.
understood that you just can't go from ball one. You have to take in because Archer was beaming in with in fingers. So he understood that he took over, like he took that off stump guard. He was stepping up and then taking to the mid wicket and probably square leg. So he was quite brainy with his innings as well. So yes, that's
yeah.
what we want. We want more of
Small
those.
adjustments and
Yeah,
playing to the strengths. That's what Phil Salt did.
full salted. Yeah,
Archer was moving the ball only one way around. It was just
yeah,
coming in.
it was
So
coming
he
in.
just made premeditated those lot of shots and whacked a lot of them on the leg side.
Yes, I think he had the advantage of, see, I feel like the good batsman, smart batsman can always get better off a good bowler. Like, Archer and then play together. Like he knows Archer in and out.
He knows
So
Archer, yes.
Wait, let me make a point. Archer and Salt not just play together, they are from the same place, Barbados, the
What?
West Indian connection. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were not aware of the fact, Phil Salt was born in Barbados. He was a ball boy there.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
fuck.
only thing, the only thing that is stopping people from believing this statement is skin color. I know what's going
Yeah,
on
yes,
here.
of course, definitely.
One is salt, the other one is black pepper. So,
Archer salt.
yeah.
Like, totally understandable.
Shit, that's crazy, dude. Didn't know
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, England is now just full of foreign players
Yeah, they
What
have
now? Always.
from.
since
Uh,
2019.
sorry, Owen Morgan was from Ireland. I think Stokes is a South African.
Ireland. Stokes is
Stokes
in
is
New Zealand.
New
New
He's
Zealand.
Zealander.
from New
New
Zealand.
Zealander,
Correct.
sorry. South
Zimbabwe.
Africa,
Adil Rashid, Pakistan.
I Rashid,
Uh,
Pakistan.
You're thinking of Karan, I think, for the South African part.
Zimbabwe.
He's Zimbabwean, no?
Zimbabwe.
Karan's dad played for Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. His brother plays now, no? Ben Karan.
Tom
Yeah.
Karan. Yeah, he
Tongaran,
Tom
has
Tongaran,
could
two
get
yeah,
it.
other
yeah,
brothers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the other
the
Karan plays for Zimbabwe.
Ben Karan, yeah.
The washed Karan still plays for England. The
The
other washed
Washington
Karan
was
plays
out
for
of
CSK.
his jersey last year, by the way, if nobody
yeah, the
remembers.
wash current. Yes, he played that
He was
jersey.
so
I
washed.
remember.
People forgot.
People
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah, there's another washed Karan in yellow jersey.
True.
And then the captain is also currently washed.
So yeah, DDP pulls up, does the job, and there is literally nothing else. Okay, there is one other thing that we should discuss. Fraud Ranga getting bashed is one of the most refreshing things for an RCB fan to watch because we let go of Chahal to Rajasthan to buy Ranga. After which we let go of Ranga to Rajasthan to buy Suyash Sharma. And it just feels like it feels satisfying, right? When we belt
Yeah.
him around on a slow wicket, which is turning, there is assistance for him, and we still belt him around. It is
We
refreshing.
sold the remote to buy a TV this time.
True.
Damn. Damn.
Okay, you know what? The upcoming schedule looks very nice. If you started from the Delhi match, okay, it's Delhi, Rajasthan, Punjab. Then it's Punjab, Rajasthan, Delhi.
Yeah, it
It's same
seems
for a
that
lot of
it's
teams.
same
So
for a
even
lot of
for
teams. Yeah.
RCB, it is Rajasthan. Next you have Punjab, and
Yeah.
then I think
That's
Delhi.
what I'm saying. The same thing. That's what your
Mumbai
schedule
also
was
plays.
Delhi, Rajasthan,
Yeah.
Punjab,
Yeah.
Punjab, Rajasthan, Delhi.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mirror, basically.
It's a
It's
mirror
got
But
basically
talent.
you play Punjab twice in a span of 48 hours,
in a span of
which is
It's
48
going to
hours.
crazy.
be
That's crazy.
very taxing on both the teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're going
So,
to play Chinnaswamy, then they're going to go together to Chandigarh and play in
I
Mullapur. So
think
Oh, they're
the
playing
the
in
stock
Mulanpur.
weather change could kind of mess up also.
I
Are they
would just
playing?
like to address this comment a little bit.
He, he's 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 trying to
Australia
catch
has lost
attention.
to Pakistan in a World Cup. India has not.
We are having the biggest and greatest T20 league going on here. What is
Yeah.
Australia? What is England? What is New Zealand?
yeah,
I
but
mean,
crazy. The next game we
Don't
have
give
is
you entertainment which IPL gives you for 2 months. Even
I
if
would
they
like
play
to
five
say,
days,
I would
they
like
don't
to
give
say,
you
what is Australia, what is England, what is New Zealand? Australia is Punjab, England is RCB, and New Zealand is CSK. Purely speaking, by the players that
yeah.
they.
definitely.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last few words. Why am I salty?
Rajasthan Royals would be salty today if looking
Lovely
at.
and dump that shit.
True, true,
we
true.
can feel that.
One more thing I had, I forgot. I can't remember right now. Predictions for the top four now. After you've seen a good amount of games,
I
where do
mean,
you
The
think
your
is
current
that?
your natural reaction would be to still say that Punjab, Delhi, RCB, and who's the first one? GT are front runners. LSG have somehow made a very good statement, but for some reason I don't see them pulling their home games in their favor.
Hmm.
Punjab just needs to regroup after yesterday's match.
DC and the other three you can decide is something that Pat Cummins said when he
Pat
was
Cummins
asked
said, yeah,
who the T20 World Cup qualifications
yeah,
would be.
then we all know what happened.
yeah,
We all know
of
what
course.
happened next.
So yeah,
Luckily for
he also
you,
was. I think Abhishek was also coming from that intention. So basically,
Oh yeah, I
but yes,
remember the point I was going to say.
it happened in the
If
IPL.
if the IPL was fixed, okay, I'm just saying, okay, Chennai should have won that match once Dhoni took over.
they shouldn't be very evident. No, I think it
Look,
would be the LSG game.
there are two ways to look at that. One is your perspective. My perspective is Dhoni is so shit. The team is so shit that even if it's fixed, they're not winning it.
Yeah,
Bro,
like it's
their
just not
coach is
happening because
going on and defending in press conferences about hitting boundaries and the
Yeah.
inability to hit
I
sixes.
think this is the perfect time to transition to tomorrow's game, CSK versus LSG. They are playing at Lucknow. Tala is captain. Let us uh, let us take it from there. Now we will
yeah,
talk about the statement.
I was having this conversation with someone. of course, thinking from that fixing point of view that okay, now Tala is leading, it's going to work for them somehow. And then I remembered the team. It, it's just not working out for them. Like we have Vijay Shankar coming in at three or two, number
CD
four,
player,
I
bro.
probably
CD player. Three
3 player.
dimensional player.
I think, and I feel Bhatir Raidu supporting CSK becomes kind of tricky. Bhatir Raidu supporting CSK kind of become tricky with Vijay Shankar in the team. It's kind of weird, but yes, and they have. I think Rahul Tripathi, like I think in place of I think he's playing replacing
Yeah.
Rituraj now. So this team just doesn't look like they are going to play for the win. They just like they're I don't think they're going to hit anything for like the 6 over 40 is their thing.
Yep.
So
So
I
Fleming's statement here, to continue on Shivam's point, Fleming's statement here is we do struggle with six hitting, but it's not everything. I understand the fascination of hitting sixes, but there should be balance in the game. I'd be very sad if the game becomes like basketball. It's just about fours and sixes. Now, the problem I have with this statement, one, they play half their games in Chepauk, where sixes aren't even that big of a deal, and they're still getting whacked for sixes. Okay. Two, you cannot complain about six hitting in a T20 game because T20 is all about sixes. And three, there haven't even been those many high scoring games this year. Last year was worse, but this year has been a pretty balanced, tussle between ball and bat. You have the rule for saliva on balls. You have a second ball that's coming in after the dew kicks in, and there are so many 170, 180 games that we've seen this year, which is a solid balance between bat and ball, in my opinion. And I really do not understand the kind of statements that have been made across the tournament by both Gaikwad and Fleming, because it feels like excuses. It feels like England coming to India and complaining about the conditions
fog.
that they're with. Yeah,
Yeah. Number four, they are not even hitting fours. Like that frequent. Yeah, and at the same time, they're not really good at strike rotation as well. I really want them to. If they're making such statements, then there has to be something which you are defending, right? Probably you're good at strike rotation. They're not even good at that. So I
correct.
understand why you think that
They
they are
hold
making
the record for the most dot balls this season as of now.
exactly.
Most dot balls
Greta
played,
Thunberg.
not bowled. Most, just to clarify.
Greta Thunberg is very happy. RCB is wearing a
Yeah,
green jersey. Chennai is living the green jersey.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
definitely.
okay. So talking about this, Ashwin taking the ball in the power play is not a wrong decision, but
TP.
it's just that they don't have any other bowlers who can bowl in the power play because Patirana is even more incapable of holding the ball in the power play. Now Ashwin bowling a proper off-spinning delivery is still capable of keeping the power play in check because we
Yeah.
saw Maxwell doing the job, we saw Moeen Ali doing the job.
Yes.
If those guys are able to do the job, I don't see why Ashwin is not doing it. Okay, this as well. They do have Kamboj, I agree, but after Kamboj bowls two and Khalil Ahmed bowls two, who is left? Because you cannot continue. I mean, you can, but it's just going to be a little easier for the batters to gain that little bit of momentum and read the bowlers a little bit more. So it's very inconsistent for teams to bowl the same two bowlers across the power play for 3 overs each, which is why they pull off 1 over of Ashwin, and that's the reason it doesn't work. KFM would have had the orange campaign.
Yeah.
I hope nobody pulls up my pre-IPL predictions.
Of
2020.
JFM. Yeah, look, maybe two teams that I predicted, it was going to be a minimum of two out of the three trophyless teams qualifying to the playoffs this year. We might get to see all three. Let's hope for the best over there. Viggy, he wants an answer, dude.
Mm.
See, I will say this. I've not liked that attitude from the beginning. And what they did on the field was quite unacceptable. And even after that, or even before that, you remember the brain fade incident where he's looking up to get the LBW
Itch in the
and a
stomach,
lot of
yes.
other things that these guys have done. I have told this time and time again to Abhishek. As players or as people they do not have my respect. As players, I agree they are up there as one of the greats of this generation for batting and however they play. But as players, I simply cannot respect them for what they did. And what is, see, I don't understand. You knew what you were going to do. You used that sandpaper, and after that, you're crying to the press for what? You orchestrated this. It,
Yeah.
oh, I made a mistake. Brother, you even put the sandpaper there. It's not like there was an attempt. You were doing it. You were caught doing it. So, and I don't know. I don't like Warner's whole vibe. I feel like it's like a whole play pretending that goes on. Smith, I would give him a little more leniency, but Warner, I feel like he puts up too much of a facade all the time.
Warner just fabricated a lot
Look,
of things with Indian media just by making Telugu
yeah,
reels on
look,
TikTok.
Steve Smith's apology on the press conference still seemed decently genuine.
Hmm.
He was better with his words, but Warner, after that scandal, has just appealed to his little TikTok audience and he's tried to gain a bit of support from them from there. It's just that nobody respected him anymore after a certain point, but his whole TikTok phase helped in a lot of
Do you think
aspects.
the apology mattered? Like, did Smith deserve to be given a captaincy after what he did?
I will say no, because look, as captain, as leadership groups, they can't tarnish the name of the game like this. I feel like this should be a completely separate episode because the sandpaper scandal is something that feels like the debate can go on forever, right? Um, I still have respect for most other players in the Australian team. Like it is still fun watching them play. They have a new style of cricket that they've been playing over the past 2 years, and it's nice to see the team under Pat Cummins. But putting Steve Smith on that pedestal where he used to be doesn't feel the same anymore. Specifically because one single moment ruined his entire career.
Yeah, and top of that, see, the thing I'll bring up is okay, fine. You let Smith and Warner eventually resume what they used to do. What about Cameron Bancroft?
Cameron
That kid's life
Bancroft
got
has
ruined.
been the leading run
Bancroft was the
scorer for
center of that attention, and he deserves to stay
You
banned for
need
some.
one scapegoat. You need
he
one
was the
scapegoat
scapegoat.
to set an example, and it was Bancroft for them.
Exactly. So isn't that unfair though? If Bancroft shouldn't have been the only one not allowed. You
I
should have
agree from a
treated
lot
all
of
three equally.
Bancroft has been the leading run scorer in Sheffield Shield for
Exactly.
many years now. Despite that, he hasn't had a chance to represent his nation even against Zimbabwe, Sri Lanka, or Bangladesh, any teams. Meanwhile, you have Warner and Smith playing, and they have
everyone.
also had the chance to captain the side.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
There was
everyone knew
I
Bancroft
will
was a
not
junior.
disagree with
The only reason Smith was brought back, had this
yeah.
offense taken place in India or any other country, the player would never have been allowed to touch the bat or ball in his entire life.
Look at
that
Srishant.
is true. Look at
Srishant
Srishant.
was uh, like clearly a very talented bowler. He threw
Wait,
his
we have
career
we
away.
have a, we have a message from Abhishek. Hold on.
Bro, look, I get it that what they did was wrong, yeah, but have you seen the comeback after that? And at least respect the player,
We
yeah.
we
Man,
agree. We
he,
agree that there's
uh, he
okay. Hold on. We're not disagreeing from the fact that Steve Smith had a comeback, but we are just saying that we don't have the respect that we used to for him. He is the best test batter in the world. We're not taking anything away from
Yeah,
that.
we can keep those things separate, right? Like a player and the person that we think is. So we can keep that separate. Of course, he's the best test batter. He's
Hmm.
See,
just
as a
not the
person,
best person in the cricketing fraternity. That would be.
Yeah.
he's a fraud in my books for the rest
Yeah,
of my life.
Yeah.
But as a
He,
player, yeah,
as a player, yeah, he is a good player,
he's a
but
he's the
he
greatest
should
test
not
batter
have
in
been
the
allowed to continue.
yeah.
Nothing justifies continuing after such a scandal. Look at all the Indian players who've been involved in scandals. Did they ever represent the country ever again? No.
Azharuddin got
Mohammad Azharuddin was
Azharuddin got
sad.
screwed. Kapil Dev got
agreed.
screwed. Srishant got screwed. It's happened time and time again. If you are involved in a major
Do
scandal
you
like this,
think people in Australia love watching cricket anymore? Like, look at how the welcome was when they went back after the 2023 World Cup victory. There was
true.
not even a single person to welcome Pat Cummins over there.
Hmm.
That's the impact that Sandpaper Gate has created over there. The OG Australian cricket fans no longer care about this game.
Hmm.
You will still see filled up stadiums in the MCG.
It's
There's
the
nothing to change
culture.
from that.
It's the culture.
But
They don't want to ruin the sporting culture. And end of the day, cricket is the national sport of Australia.
yeah. Wait, he sent another voice message. Hold on, let's listen to this shit.
Bro, why are you acting like he's the only one who cheated? So you're telling me that no one cheats?
He's not the okay. Well, let's listen to the voice.
He's the only one who got caught. You understand that?
Listen, dude, he was the captain of the team, right? Cameron Bancroft was the scapegoat because he was caught doing the act. Steve Smith and David Warner were captain and vice captain, and they had to be reprimanded
What?
for it. And they came out clean in the press conference and admitted that they were guilty. The rest of the team, there is nothing else.
No, no, no. Sachit, you misunderstand his point. We've had this conversation before. I know what he means by they are the only ones who got caught cheating. He's insinuating that everyone in world cricket cheats and only they've got caught. He's saying that India cheats and they do fixing, but they're the only ones who got caught. This is what he means. Not that no one else in the team got caught. He means that knowing him, I'm telling you, we've had this conversation before. He simply means that everyone else in the world cheats and they've just not been caught. That is his
Right.
counter to this.
Okay, fine.
It's a little embarrassing to admit this on a live stream, but I have cheated in multiple exams throughout the course of my, school days, my college days, and my engineering days. But the reason I still have a degree is because I wasn't caught. Anyone who is caught will be suspended from the college. And if you are caught doing something that you shouldn't be doing, you will face the consequences for it. And there is no two ways about it, right? All the Indians that have been caught doing something that they shouldn't be doing on the field have faced the consequences for it. And there, there is nothing more that I can say about it because look, they got caught doing something that they were not supposed to do, and they got the punishment for it. And that
No,
is the reason that is also a certain reason that we don't have the respect for them because it was something so blatantly done that it made no sense to the cricketing world. That is all we're trying to say here.
no. You missed the point. He's saying we still cheat and we just not been caught.
Fine.
Look, there is a certain amount of politics that goes on in the background in cricket
See,
that
politics is different from what Abhishek is referring here.
look, we don't like put sandpaper on the ball. We don't like rub chewing gum on the ball. We don't do stupid shit like that. But what Australia did was absolutely stupid. There might be a certain level of background, puppets being pulled from the likes of BCCI and Jesha, and there will always be an undue advantage for the Indian team, as we saw in the Champions Trophy with them having Dubai as their home ground.
But what's there to cry about it? Earlier, when before IPL, England
Yeah.
and Australia used to rule the cricket. They
Hmm.
used to have their venues according to their rules and regulations. Yeah,
Even now, the whole World Test Championship is centered around England.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
only issue is that England sucks so badly that they cannot put a foot into the finals with their whole baseball mentality.
But that
I
happens when something new starts, right?
poison.
When the World Cup started, the first two World Cup held in England, and then like first three World Cups held in England, and then when India won, and it was all another like whole another case of people pulling up. I think it was Dalmia who were taking initiatives that we brought World Cup to India. So you know that, so like it does happen, and probably that's what happening with World Test Championship as well. It's gonna happen consistently, but I think Jaisha might pull some strings, and we have a final in
I think
India
let's
probably in 33, I guess.
maybe, yeah, that would actually be good. But like, see, where would they change it to? People will not agree to put it in India because if India gets through, it's an undue advantage.
That is also
Yeah.
true.
They will not put it in the subcontinent. It's as simple as
Look,
that.
I agree. I agree with the fact that putting it in India will automatically make it an
Hmm.
Indian win because though our home record is insanely good, but that kind of applies to Australia as well. Their home record is goated. Jay Shah is the chairman of ICC. I agree that there is a lot of shit that's gone on in the background over there. But he is also the chairman of ICC because of the kind of shit that he's pulled for the BCCI in terms of generating revenue. There is massive amounts of revenue that's generated, and he's turned cricket into something commercial. And the reason he's chairman of the ICC is because of the commercial factor that he brings in. I'm not going to, take away from the fact that he does do things that are beneficial to India, but it also has the commercial aspect.
Overall, he's a very good representation of the cricket in terms of revenue.
Yeah,
You remove J.
he might look like one chubby dude who has some mental disorder, but he's actually a pretty brainy guy from within. He knows how to handle the politics.
Gujjus know their business, yeah.
One last time, I will be playing Abhishek's voice notes
No, no,
in
no,
this.
no. Don't play it. Play Shruti's voice note.
I'll do that as well.
Bro, look, what do you mean that no one cheats? So you're telling me that no one in that
I
team
didn't
cheats?
say that no one cheats.
Are you kidding me? The whole league will pay them money. And not even just IPL, like every international game. Do you even know the amount of like fixing that goes behind it? Shut the fuck up, man.
There's
It's
more.
only bad or good if you get caught. That's the rule, yeah?
Yeah, of course. If you do get caught doing something that you shouldn't be doing, you will get reprimanded for it. And I don't disagree with the fact that if Indian players are caught doing something they shouldn't be doing, they should, yeah, of course, they should be reprimanded for it. And if there is a certain level of fixing that's gone on in the background, then why did the 2023 World Cup loss ever happen in the first place? Because Jesha was there in the scheme of things there as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The
When
pitch
it was rigged
turnaround.
so hard, why couldn't India
Yeah.
rig it to an India win as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a home tournament in the first place.
Exactly. Who wants to be
You
the
remove
hero?
Jay Shah from like chairman of ICC, like half of the cricketing boards will disappear. BCCI will make IPL a year-long tournament. They will cancel all the international tours. World Cup
It
will
become like
be
football.
irrelevant. Yeah, it's
So
like football.
I don't disagree with the fact that India printed a lot of money even after India lost the game. It is there has to be a certain level of revenue that was generated from the whole betting scenes from there. But it's not. If that was the scenario, then it could have been the case for the Champions Trophy final. It could have been the
T20
case
World
for
Cup
the
final.
2024 World Cup. It could have happened multiple times, right? And Jay Shah was the chairman at that point of the ICC. He could have done anything. It's it's just
Yeah. He just
if,
makes things convenient. In the end, you still have to pull through. That's what.
yeah. So at the end of the day, we go back to the one point that we were supposed to be discussing. That is, Steve Smith does not deserve the respect. That is the point that was being discussed over here, right? Everything that happens in the background of the cricketing world is irrelevant in the conversation that we are having right now. So I am just going to play this one last audio. Please shut the fuck up.
I will
That's
also
it.
play one audio once again.
Sorry, what? Okay, fine. Anyway, I think it's about time we ended the stream because
Yep.
we've been yapping for 1 hour and 13 minutes, and it's time to go get a good night's rest. All of us have work tomorrow, so we end the stream here. Tata, bye bye, good night,
Bye
Shubhratri.
bye.